Good afternoon, friends. Yvonne Stewart here with you in our study on linking the covenants. In this series, I am attempting to help us look at the Old Testament and see the types and shadows that are hidden in there, and then see how they're revealed in the new covenant. So today we're going to look at Genesis chapter 9 and chapter 11 and Proverbs chapter 6. Genesis 9, verse 1 and verses 11 to 13 says, "Then God blessed Noah and his sons and told them, 'Be fruitful and multiply. Fill the earth. Yes, I am confirming my covenant with you. Never again will floodwaters kill all living creatures. Never again will a flood destroy the earth.' Then God said, 'I'm giving you a sign of my covenant with you and all living creatures for all generations to come. I have placed my rainbow in the clouds. It is the sign of my covenant with you and with all the earth.'" In the midst of earth's wickedness and God's eternal mercy, we're seeing the original command and blessing once more. There is a blessing for obedience. Noah and his family chose to obey God's command. They probably felt foolish. It certainly sounds foolish and looks foolish to be building an ark with no sign or even concept of rain. Yet, they chose to stand and obey God. In return, He covenanted with them never to destroy the earth again by a flood, and confirmed it with the sign of a rainbow. Additionally, God reaffirmed His commission to humans to be fruitful and fill the earth. He gave that calling and He never took it back, even after the fall and even after the flood. God never takes back His gifts or His callings, and He always remembers His covenants. If you are feeling the call of God on your life today, don't ignore it. Even if you feel like you've messed up your call or you've gone through all manner of floods, it's still there waiting. Step out in faith like Noah did and just see how God will put His super on your natural. The link for this concept is found in Romans 11:29. "For God's gifts and His call can never be withdrawn." Contrast Noah's righteousness with the tendency of mankind to once more delve into sin. In Genesis 11:4-7, it says, "Then they said, 'Come, let's build a great city for ourselves with a tower that reaches into the sky. This will make us famous and keep us from being scattered all over the world.' But the Lord came down to look at the city and the tower the people were building. 'Look,' He said, 'the people are united and they all speak the same language. After this, nothing they set out to do will be impossible for them. Come, let's go down and confuse the people with different languages. Then they won't be able to understand each other.'" This story is a perfect example of men taking glory for themselves. It also shows the power of unity and harmony. Literally nothing is impossible when there's unity. God takes note when we take the glory, when we try to reach God in our own way instead of through Jesus. He severely punished Lucifer for such insolence, and He punished the peoples of the earth by scattering them to the four corners. Too many people have brought this scattering mindset into their Christian walk. One of the purposes of the cross was to bring us back together from where we were scattered. When reading through the prophets in the Old Testament, you'll see the promise of the Lord over and over. When you read the New Testament, you'll see the call to unity and harmony reiterated. In the new covenant, we are still called to live for God's glory, not our own. 1 Corinthians 10:31 says, "So whether you eat or drink or whatever you do, do all to the glory of God." The book of Proverbs is full of examples of how we should live in God, or to use the terminology of Proverbs, to live in wisdom. Proverbs 6, verses 6 to 8 says, "Take a lesson from the ants, you lazy bones. Learn from their ways and become wise. Though they have no prince or governor or ruler to make them work, they labor hard all summer, gathering food for the winter." It always interests me when the Bible talks about something that is so clearly every day. What do I see here that is every day? Go ahead and guess. Yep, it's work. At least work is supposed to be every day except the Sabbath. Remember, we talked about Adam's original calling included working every day in the garden. Work was not under the curse. Difficulty in working is under the curse, but work is a part of the blessing and the original commission and command from God. Work is designed to be a natural part of everyone's life. Further, work is supposed to be a supernatural part of everyone's life. Of course, we're going to work hard in school or work hard earning a living. We also must work hard to develop our spiritual life. Healthy spiritual growth doesn't just happen because you show up. Growing spiritually requires spending time with God, reading His Word, and fellowshipping with other believers. The Bible says iron sharpens iron, so coming together is very important. And I don't know if you've ever had to sharpen a knife where you sharpen it against other iron and the sparks fly. Sometimes that happens with people, and we have to realize this is actually God getting our character into alignment. So let's work hard today in all the areas of life and our supernatural life that matter the most. This is linked in the New Testament in Ephesians 4:28. "If you are a thief, quit stealing. Instead, use your hands for good, hard work, and then give generously to those in need." Well, that's all for today. For further study, I put some scriptures in the description of this video. And then until the next time, I'm going to be praying for you to receive some revelation from God about your covenant with Him. Have a blessed week.